No.
Yeah, so first things first, the president of Rebel Stars Football Club celebrated his 50th
and of
birthday.
course you have to go mark a regular selfie.
Yes, I was there. I think I've celebrated about 5-6 consecutive birthdays with Honorable Sᴘᴏʀᴛs. So, yeah, and I mean, when Mr. Sᴘᴏʀᴛ throws a party,
it's a real Sᴘᴏʀᴛ party.
The creme de la creme is always there, you know. So that's a lonely Saturday.
No. Speed, be very clear with your thoughts. If you say creme de la creme and we didn't go today.
Yeah, you cream.
Yeah, I'm not even Vaseline.
How did you do this weekend?
Nothing, man. Nothing at all.
Just sleep?
Not really. My cousin's wife had a birthday yesterday, but I'm not these days. If I'm not working, if I'm not hosting your events, I really struggle to have any joy around the event and all of that. Saturday was just home for me, and because I've really struggled. I've not had electricity supply in weeks, so I've literally been spending.
You've not what?
Electricity supply.
Are you supposed to have? You stay in Cameroon.
Are Cameroonians not human beings?
Are they not
better than Nigerians? Cameroonians are better than Nigerians now. You want to compare Samuel Eto'o to Amaju Pini?
All right. Looks like the power station is everywhere. Some say it's getting better. Some say it's getting worse. But
I'm on band W.
I don't care. I don't care. The football this weekend also was top notch. I must say
that was the consolation I had.
I watched the Bayer Leverkusen VfB Stuttgart game. And I kept telling myself that these guys are not losing.
And they did not.
Yeah, crazy stuff. But guys, do you think they'll do it? End the season unbeaten in all competitions?
I think they've been through the worst of it. If they were going to drop, if they were going to end their unbeaten run, it would have been between Dortmund and Stuttgart. We highlighted that.
The had like 6 clear-cut chances in that game.
I don't even watch player Okosi game until they start losing.
For that energy that they will come back. I think the teams in the German Bundesliga should just help them to achieve it, maybe, because we were having a conversation yesterday night with a friend, and he said that there's no way Man City are going to lose at Spurs. That even if Spurs have every chance to beat Man City, that they know that Spurs Man City losing to Spurs would hand Arsenal the title. They would never do that.
Yeah, Spurs was actually the one
they would never do that favor for Arsenal. So maybe the teams in the German Bundesliga should help by Leverkusen and just make it easy for them to at least draw, even if you won't lose to them.
Play Frankfurt next time. We have Frankfurt, then they go.
Yeah, Emmanuel, I'm with you. Don't worry, we'll come and see you in a bit.
Yeah, then they also.
Maybe if I can keep in Wally.
Yeah.
That referee that ended the AFCON in 65 minutes. So we should one of Bayer Leverkusen's game. I the motive the Bundesliga too. That would not be problem.
what a take. About the Rafa that was in action against Pedro Caixin of Chile. It's one set apiece, and the decide is on, and Nadal is by 4-3, and he's broken the chain. Right, he's playing some fine stuff on the Kara court. I think the last game he played was in front of the King of Spain, and it did well against Alex de Minaur to progress to the next round. All right, we're also in Affinity George as we confirmed the Super Eagles big boss, but we'll come to that later as well. But Emmanuel, how are you doing? How was your weekend? If your weekend was about the NBA playoffs, definitely had a top-notch weekend. And I mean, where do we really get this one started from? Because the action on Sunday alone, we could talk about it for the next 35 minutes or thereabout. But it's a shame that we have to compress all of this into about some 10-15 minutes of your thoughts, and Tony Young as well. Now, Emmanuel, let's get started with the Timberwolves who have swept the Suns. And Ant Edwards, I remember before the playoffs started last season against the Nuggets, Edwards was asked about being one of the league's young stars, and he said he couldn't consider the young star. Why? Because he had yet to win in the playoffs. I think that by virtue of what we saw yesterday, I mean, he's a youngster now and he's super one at that.
Yeah, Wale, I think he wants to be the face of the league. He said it. He said right now he wants to model everything on his path. And he gives you the memories of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. These are guys, this is how they think. They don't have any friends on the court. And the extra motivation for Anthony Edwards was the fact that Kevin Durant is his model, is his icon. So facing his idol and his mentor, he wanted that so many times. There was a time he told the coach, Chris Finch, meanwhile who missed out as the coach of the year, to Mark Juggernaut of the OKC. He told him at some point when the Bubuka was the hot cake, he said, let me face this guy. When Kevin Durant was the guy who was fighting all cylinders, he went for 15. This is what some of these guys do. And while for the first time since 1995, the Timberwolves franchise have a reason to come to the stadium again, the Target Center to come and watch the game. The last time was when they drafted a certain young man called, what's the name? The Big Ticket, talking about Kevin Garnett. Now, before then, we've been to the playoff once in the last 16 seasons before he came in, and after he came in, they made it to like 3, 4, 5 seasons in the first, and that was how he got his nickname, the Big Ticket. And now, for the first time in a long while, even Michael Jordan said last week that this guy is the next system in the NBA. And yes, in a team that has Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, I think these things go under the radar while they have the coach has been able to play these two guys together and they coexist at the same time. Talking about two centers, Anthony Towns playing as a power forward and this guy playing as a center. And right now they are the best defensive team in the NBA. And Anthony Edwards, after the first quarter, he had about first half, he had just 9 points. And he said, my team is not going to win if I can score only 9 points. They ended the game with a 40 piece of the night. Now, while it is more about the Suns, I've talked about this time and over again.
I was going to rap you about the Suns just in a moment, because I just wanted to also make the listener out there understand the numbers that Ant Edwards is putting out there. Game 1 of the series, he put in 33. Game 2, he did 36. And game 3, I think he did 33 or so. I think he did 40 in game 4. Yeah, and
game 3 was bad for him.
Yeah, game 3 was the bad one. Then he did 40 points. 31 of those 40 coming in the second half of the sweep yesterday. But it takes me to the Suns. Although I'll come back to you on that. Let me quickly have Tuna Young's thoughts on this one. What's next for the Suns? This side were in the NBA Finals a couple of seasons ago, but they seem to have drifted away.
And it's horrible squad building. It's when you just think you can mesh a group of big names together and without much care for how they fit on the court. It's just never going to work. You build arguably the I mean, it works on NBA 2K, but this is real life. You build arguably the most expensive squad, the most expensive 35 in the NBA, and then you don't have a point guard. Devin Booker is not a point guard. He can play as a point guard, but he's not a point guard. Bradley Beal, not a point guard at all. Especially not in today's modern NBA. And it's on a ridiculous contract where they have to pay him 30 million each for the next, I think, 3 years. So like everything is just, it was, horribly planned from the front office, building a team where Kevin Durant has to spend most of his time standing in the corner. We are seeing reports that he's not happy with his role on the team, and I think that they made a huge mistake in underrating DeAndre Ayton's importance to their setup, to how the team plays, and Chris Paul as well. The team that made the finals under Monty Williams and lost to Milwaukee, in my opinion, is a much better team now. It's much better constructed, much better balance. Chris Paul, being able to facilitate plays for the likes of Devin Booker, facilitating plays for DeAndre Ayton as well, and they had key pieces in key areas, Mikal Bridges, guys that can win you games and score important points. But they don't have any of that. They just have a bunch of players who either used to be very good or are now very, very good on paper. Kevin Durant is in the twilight of his career. I mean, still Kevin Durant is still that guy. But you can't put the same level of responsibility on Kevin Durant. Devin Booker, in my opinion, was really, really disappointing this entire series. He came up big last night. He didn't want to go. He clearly didn't want to get swept. So I think he dropped 40, but too late in my opinion. It was just horribly constructed. Frank Vogel did not cover himself in glory as well.
All right, Manuel, I'd love to take more of your thoughts on Suns, but we don't have plenty of time, so I have to move on to the next one. But Okpe, by the way, are you following the playoffs, Okpe?
No.
All right, nice one. Okay. I just wanted you to be part of the conversation, Yeah, now let's talk about the Pacers and the Bucks. The Pacers lead surprisingly by 3-1, and looks like the Bucks' injuries is too much to overcome. They needed just to be perfect without Giannis and Damian Lillard in Game 4. And they also needed a bit of some necessary discipline that they didn't get in the first quarter with Bobby Portis and Andrew Nembhard ejected, and it just made matters worse for them. Can they come back?
Why they cannot come back? Just when Tony Young was wrapping up, let me just remind you of something. Are you aware that the Suns swept the Timberwolves in the regular season, 4-0, 4-0. He returned the favor to them when it mattered the most. And he made I think senior year of fifth into my book, everything was spot on. No point guard, no leadership, sat down for them. But talking about the Pacers, in the regular season, we had a 4-1 record over the Bucks with Giannis, who was healthy. I think the only one they look at it because also played in the in-season tournament. So they met 5 times, they won 4 times, the Bucks won 1. Now Bobby Portis came into filling for the injured Giannis, and there was no Damian Lillard, so there was no place in hell for them to have won that game. While against a Pacers team that led the regular season in points per game and also assists, they are one of the fastest teams. They are living up to their name, the Indiana Pacers. And last night, while they also lead the NBA players in assists. All through the 82 game regular season, it was only once that is failed to score above 100 points. And for the second time this season, we saw it in game 2 when they were held to about 92 points by the Bucks. It tells you how good they are. And they were the coach of the team, Ray Carlisle, was the coach who was in the Dallas Mavericks when they won the championship in 2011 when they came back from 3-2 down to beat the Miami Heat with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. And right now, getting Pascal Siakam is one of the perfect deals they've done. Now, they've having some off-shooting nights from their star man, Tyrese Haliburton, who leads the league in assists.
But tell me how important Miles Turner has been. Is turning back the ends of time, honestly, because this veteran, known for his defensive prowess, has become an offensive machine suddenly in the playoffs.
Miles Turner is a shot blocker, he's a rim protector, and he's one of the few bigs in the league who can play the 3 ball very well. He can hit from downtown. That's how good he is. There's one man who has never hit his intention to want to play for the Lakers. It has been Miles Turner. Now, that deal they did to send Buddy Hield away from the team, Buddy Hield has been their best shooter in the last 2 seasons. Now, they let him go. They like the likes of Nesmith and the rest of them. Obi Toppin from the New York City is there as well. Now, Rory Carlisle, he has enough experience in this team, but getting Pascal Siakam in that team, Miles Turner in that team, while these guys are playing one of the best basketball, like I said, in the regular season, they have the best offensive efficiency. Right now, they lead the league in also scoring in the postseason. And guess what? That with Haliburton and LeBron James lead the league in playoff assisting, averaging 10.9 assists per game in the playoff. So far, so good. Even with Giannis healthy, I never gave the Bucks a chance in this team. So with Giannis out, they Lillard out last night. It was only a matter of when or time, except they can overturn it. Who else? They want to call Chris Middleton, who is the set of himself this time around. Brook Lopez, one of the few bigs that can also play the 3 ball very well, but it's not enough. Siakam can play on both ends of the floor. The same thing with that man you mentioned, my Sona. You have Nate Smith in the team as well. So Wale, I think for Ray Carlisle, he has his work cut out. Right now, I just feel this game is only a matter of time if they want to extend it beyond 5 games.
All right, nice one. Still Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We are taking a look at Sunday's NBA playoffs takeaways. We've talked about the Wolves who have finished their sweep of the Suns. Now, let's talk about the Clippers. Tᴜᴏ against the Mavs. It's tied at 2-2. Looks like we're set for another best of 3 series in this series now. And for the Mavs, they almost erased a 31-point deficit, but when they needed to take it to another get, they look exhausted, right?
Yeah, they can make the case exhausted, but I actually think it's a case of they became overconfident, in my opinion. That's how I saw it. I mean, 31 points is the biggest margin by which anybody has come back in
NBA playoff history.
NBA playoff, and it was even the Clippers that did it, so it would have been poetic if they could do it against the Clippers. And they cut the lead down to 1 point. Actually, it was a 1-point game at some point, and the energy, they are playing in front of their own crowd. Opportunity to go 3-1 up, the energy was there, but for whatever reason, they just kept making bad plays, especially late in the third quarter and especially early in the fourth quarter as well. And look, I don't think he also chose the wrong time to have probably his worst game.
I also get a feeling they're still struggling with something in his knee.
The knee injury, the right knee injury that took him out of game 3, also read his ugly head yesterday night. But even though he didn't need to come out of the game, it didn't look like it was 100%. Kyrie Irving did most of the heavy lifting, and PJ Washington has turned out to be a fantastic addition for the Mavs as well. But I shout out to Paul George, man, one of the best players in the league in terms of consistency. You know what you're getting. Playoffs, regular season is PG-13 is PG-13. It just turns up and does the business.
But do you think? I mean, Kawhi's ruled out of the series now. Can they do without Kawhi?
I mean, they played pretty much the entire series apart from game 3, which they lost. So like I think the evidence is there that they can't do it to Dakar, and the fact that they're tied after 4 games is great. If they can take the lead in game 5, that would be fantastic. So I think Dallas have given up a massive advantage where they could have actually ended the series effectively last night. Nobody's coming back from 3-1, especially not this Los Angeles Clippers.
All right, let's wrap it up with the Knicks. Emmanuel, Knicks, they lead the Sixers by 3-1, and we know that. I mean, you've always talked about it. I'm at that point over time when you join us on the show that the Knicks have been one of the NBA best defensive teams since they acquired OG Anunoby. You've always talked about it, and they took it to another level against the Sixers in Game 4.
Well, yeah, surprisingly, the man who they placed on Joel Embiid last night, they had to sing when he fouled out of the game. Guess who they brought in to match Joel Embiid? Precious Achiuwa. Yeah, from Achiuwa.
Precious Achiuwa.
Yes, Precious Achiuwa. When he came up and he did a yeoman's job on him, even the coach of the team was full of praises for him. But while the problem was, I don't understand how they cannot figure it out. It's not an NBA champion with the Raptors, with Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, and Kawhi Leonard. The problem was we don't know who to play on Jalen Brunson. At first they sent with Magdi, who is a smaller guard. The next time they sent that man called Tᴜᴅᴜ 6'7". After him, they sent the other man, Tobias Harris, who is 6'8". So at the point they were rotating guards on him and nobody could stop it. At some point, Jalen Brunson led him. For Jalen Brunson, they cannot put that one of their go-to man as well. But picking up Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Precious Achiuwa, who came from the Toronto Raptors to the Clippers to win. Because the 3-1 they are up right now. They take the game back to their home ground, the Garden, to wrap it up there.
All right, man. Thank you very much for your thoughts on Sunday's NBA playoff games. Really appreciate it. Have a great start to your week. And have a great show as well.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, about Chibuzo Akol FM Kano, joining us with some quality 22 minutes with Tony Young, taking a look at the NBA playoffs. Right, don't forget, Celtics are up against the Heat tomorrow morning. Boston lead 2-1. Thunder at Pelicans, their coach is the coach of the year, and deservedly so. They lead 3-0. They can wrap it up as well. And the Lakers are up against the Nuggets. You want to call it, Tony Young? You think you're 3-2?
I'm not confident.
We'll keep our fingers crossed on that. Yeah, you want to drop predictions up there?
Anything you tell me, I'll bet.
Yeah.
No, Lakers will get this one.
Oh, really?
I think the fact that we're able to get one could just propel them to keep
that's all I need.
Keep it on.
Anytime I can make good predictions this year, I used to sleep, but this one I'm not sleeping on.
Alrighty, don't forget 6:30 p.m. We'll get it to Sarah, brought to you by Bet. We got bills to pay. We'll come back. There's plenty of football coming your way. It's time to meet the new coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria and so much more. From the Prem, from La Liga, Barcelona in action tonight against Valencia. So stick around for that and so much more. We'll be right back.
98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. #1 waterproof cement for Naija. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. #1 waterproof cement for Naija. New Lafarge water shield cement #1. New Lafarge waterproof cement confirm. Good full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, foundation and basement to call, no shaking. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. #1 waterproof cement for Naija. Lafarge, cement. New Lafarge water shield cement and confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Who takes a plate of jollof rice to the next level of goodness? Is it when it is cooked with non-seasoned cubes for that sumptuous taste? Or when you serve it with correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrot, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans?
It's both. Season your jollof with the rich taste of Knorr cubes and serve with plenty of vegetables. So, go ahead and elevate your meals. Today, eat for good.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. New Lafarge water shield cement number one. New Lafarge waterproof cement number one. Good full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, foundation and basement to call. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Lafarge, cement. New Lafarge water shield cement and confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey, and when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of Knorr seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. New Lafarge water shield cement number one. New Lafarge waterproof cement number one. Good full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, foundation and basement to call. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Lafarge, cement. New Lafarge water shield cement and confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's why anytime when they cook like this, I they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one I know they put. Now he make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You see?
Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that to get delicious taste. Today, chop better.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. New Lafarge water shield cement number one. New Lafarge waterproof cement number one. Good full stop for water wahala. With Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, foundation and basement to call. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Lafarge, cement. New Lafarge water shield cement and confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey, and when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of Knorr seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
Mainland 98.3 FM, your number one radio. Reaching stars, the sound of Lagos.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
Welcome back. Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. It's 6:30 p.m. We'll take a message from our friends from Bet Baba in a bit. But the Daily Mail this evening is reporting that Manchester United are now open to selling majority of the players in the squad. Yes, that's what we're hearing. According to Dilma, they're open to selling a majority of the squad, with only 3 players considered as untouchables right now. Come back to more of that story in a moment. But okay, what do you make of the big story from the home front? Finidi George announced as Super Eagles manager. And I mean, I can't say I saw this coming, because we thought Mana Munike was frontline for the job. But even when he was up for it, I knew your position, and I think Tony Young's position. And hey, how about you just allow Finidi George to have a go at it, since he took charge of those 2 games when he was an interim charge for the games against Ghana and I think, was it Togo? Yeah, no, it wasn't Togo. Yeah, the friendly games. Yeah, we played Ghana and was it Togo?
I think we played Ghana and Togo.
Okay, all right, and the feeling was that, hey, let's just have him stay in charge. And looks like you've gotten your wish. Are you happy with this, Finidi George?
I'm a huge advocate of consistency and continuity, and they say when something is not broken, there's no point trying to fix it. However, it's not like we're on a very roller coaster. It's not like we're on a sweet sailing consistent run of form in terms of the national team. Yes, we had a decent outing at the African Cup of Nations, and I call it decent because I'm probably one of the few people that gave the Super Eagles chance to go all the way and win the AFCON even before the tournament started. So I think I have the right to say, for me, it was a decent showing because they didn't meet up to my expectation, because I feel there's so much potential within that team. A blend of experience, a blend of players that have been in the team for a very long time. And so I kind of expected that there was no point. It seems you had an assistant. The idea of having an assistant, well, it's just like sometimes, just like deputy governors in Nigeria, most of them are so unused spare tires. So sometimes you look at it, the idea of having an assistant is to get used to the system, get accustomed to how these things work, so that if the manager is stepping aside, there's no point coming in to change. This is not club football that you play maybe 100 games a season. This is national team. If there's no competition here, probably friendly matches or qualifiers, you don't play up to 10 games in the calendar year. So when you say national team manager is coming to impose his authority in a game, I always wonder how many games do they play? Even when they play 10 matches, except there's a competition. When they play friendly matches, probably 3 FIFA calendar. When you play qualifiers, maybe 2 over 2 times. That's like 4 games. So it's just only normal for us to want to think that, hey, this guy was with the team for 22 months. He did well with Enyimba, or he's doing well with Enyimba. He led them to winning the Nigerian Premier Football League last season. They're also still in contention to win the league this season. If you say what's his name now? Oᴘᴏ did well with the side, then the credit should also go to his assistant. So if Oᴘᴏ left, it's only normal for you to think that, hey, if you're staying domestic.
Well, I beg to differ that if a manager is taking credit, assistant should take equal credit as well. I don't think so.
No, see, so what would you now say? Would you see the position of
I don't know if I agree with that.
Would you ascribe Mourinho's successes to Rui?
Yeah, to Rui. I don't think so.
No. See, what I'm saying is that Finidi was not so much on the back end with the Super Eagles setup. It was very much on the scene. You could see that he has a strong connection with the players. They have a way to connect. Even times that Oᴘᴏ have not been with the team, Finidi George is often with them. So I think for me, it's only normal for us to say that, hey, let them continue. See, we don't have any new players that are joining the Super League. Let's be sincere with ourselves. We're still going to recycle the old players. In fact, the next thing we are going to do, Ahmed Musa will probably still come back into the side. So what's the point bringing in a new manager when you are not going to bring in new players? Leave Finidi. He's got used to the players. He's got the domestic experience. He's coaching in Nigerian League. So if we say we want Nigerian League players to get involved in the Super Eagles, then we should allow someone that will not collect $700, whether gratification or bribe, to slot in home-based players into the team. Someone that will legitimately bring in players from the home team into this. So that's the basis at which I put out for, and I'm really excited. If truly the NFF technical committee have agreed to have Finidi George on the game, hey, why not?
All right, so once again, let's temper the expectations. Basically, the board of the NFF are approving the recommendation of the technical and development committee. I'm sure maybe an official announcement will come during the week. But his work's cut out. He's got his work cut out to Young. He's got South Africa, Benin Republic in 2026 World Cup qualifying games. Those 2 games have got the potential of making or marring Finidi George as Super Eagles manager. Those 2 games are very crucial for him.
Absolutely. I like the fact that those are not his first games. The taking charge of the friendlies.
I get if in those games will not be seen as his first games in charge. Yes. See, we've forgotten Ghana, we've forgotten the other.
Mali.
Yeah, Mali. Yeah, not Togo. Yeah, Mali.
I mean, it's probably a good thing for him that we forgot Mali, to be honest. We did not do anything that good. But yes, the circumstances with which he took charge of those 2 games, I understand. But yes, his first competitive games being against South Africa. I will know the history, between both nations, from what perspective, and even from the last clash at the AFCON. So yes, you couldn't have asked for a tougher set of fixtures to start, but at some point you have to start. And I'm sure Finidi George is more grateful for the opportunity than is afraid of it. I don't know where the Emmanuel Amuneke links came from. Knowing Nigerian football, they were probably concrete, and maybe something happened at the last minute, which also leads me to wonder how the circumstances of his hiring will impact his performance. Maybe coming in as maybe the 3rd, 4th, or even 5th choice manager of the NFF. Everybody who has a pulse has been linked to the job, and it just feels like Finidi George at this point is just getting the job because this is not my opinion. I'm just saying this is how I see it from the outside looking in. That he's getting the job on the basis of everyone else who wanted, we either cannot afford or does not.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the honest truth. Finidi gets this job. I don't want to sound too critical, but I don't think that he's gotten it if we could be able to afford other managers.
I don't think he got it on the priority level.
I'm forced to almost use the word he hasn't gotten it on merit. See, because he's also spent 20 months as assistant to Jose Peseiro. That has to count for something.
He's quite popular.
Within that has to count for something. But if the NFF had the financial wherewithal and the candidates were there, trust me, Finidi is second or third choice.
Again is this. I just hope this is not going to be a trap for the people that keep saying give the job to home-based managers. How
can it be a trap?
I mean, God, I'm not predicting doom. If Finidi George does not, if the Finidi George expense does not work well, yes,
no, I don't think so.
It can. See, in NFF, everything.
There's even the sentimental theory that even the last 2 AFCON winners have had homegrown managers.
Yes,
MS5 and Ali Cisse, Jamel Belmadi. You can also say the last time won the AFCON was also with the Nigerian manager. So even for those sentimental reasons, if this guy doesn't work out, or I pray works out, I'm not going to use that and say that's why we don't want to miss managers.
What determines working out for Finidi George? Because I think it would be unfair to personally Peseiro or Finidi George or whoever. I'm not confident that we're going to qualify for
the World Cup. I think we'll qualify.
We will qualify for the World Cup.
I think we'll qualify in that group. I'm already dropping 4 points.
We'll still qualify for the World Cup.
You remember that it's just, even though the slot has increased to 9, it is still just 1 team per group.
I understand. We'll qualify.
Which is where the problem is. So I've never been confident about qualifying out of that group, and I think it would be unfair if when we eventually do not qualify, like I think we will not. That is not blamed for that.
You know what I'm confident I think you should start trying to apply for a US visa right now. In fact, the US embassy has told everyone globally that if you plan to be at the World Cup in 2026, because of the wait time, in fact Nigeria is even easy now. Colombia has a wait time of about over 800 days. Mexico has about 555 days.
In Nigeria now,
so they are even advising that if you plan to be at that World Cup, please
start applying now.
So go and apply now, because Super Eagles qualify for the World Cup.
We're applying regardless if you qualify.
Well, yeah. I mean, you want play correct cost over 1.5. I mean, you want bet. Say, what seem no go score at all. Okay, we get better payout. No worry, we there for you. Our own chap right out. We know the feeling show. Oh no, we there for you. Oh, we there for you. You see for bet baba, give me money, bet baba. Cash out the easy, or bet baba. We get online games for you. You play over dollar. We get better bonus. I give me no. Yeah, now bet baba play us on. Cash out or sharp. Darling, no. Welcome to Bet Baba.
Register now on betbaba.ng. Not for people under 18.
Hush not child,
Welcome back. Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM brought to you by Bet Baba. Barcelona in action tonight, and Leicester City can clinch the championship title if they can win at Preston North. Is a 1.67 for a win on Bet Baba. And Barcelona to win tonight is a 1.37. You can also up it with Roman Lewandowski to score at about 2.90. All exclusively on betbaba.ng. Alright, don't forget also it's a busy week of football to catch up on. The Champions League returns tomorrow, and the big boys are in action. Real Madrid take on Bayern Munich. They have not met since that classic in 2018. Yep, last time they met was in 2018. And there's also my favorites for the final, Dortmund up against Paris Saint-Germain. By the way, Dortmund got it for 4 last weekend at Leipzig. Alright, there's also the Europa League semi-finals as well. Roma up against what's that again?